Dennis is the youngest of 4 kids. I'm the oldest. We have a couple of siblings. And we were visiting the other night, and I said to him, did you ever imagine, like, if we had asked people when we were growing up, and you'd said, okay, they're going to name a building on an institution of higher education campus after you, or after one of the kids, which kid would it be? And let me put a little context to you for that, okay? So, this is like the 70s and 80s. So, just as a reference point, nobody knew how these kids would turn out, but his oldest brother, by way of profession, ends up being a neurosurgeon. His other brother is a radiation oncologist. His sister gets her PhD in genetics and does research at a medical school. Dennis grew up in the same small town, went to the same schools, with many of the same teachers, same families, and he had to follow in their footsteps. Now, what you may not know is that Dennis is dyslexic. And he said to me, you know, Greg, when you grow up and you're dyslexic, you're always thinking, these people don't think I'm very smart. And true story, having to follow these overachieving older siblings, when he was in kindergarten, he wasn't doing as well as the other kids, or the older kids anyway. My mother was concerned, went to the kindergarten teacher, and she said, Tina, you're just going to have to accept the fact that Dennis is not as bright as your other children. And when I heard him say the other night, you're always thinking people don't think that you're smart, it broke my heart. And not for him, he's overcome that, he's successful. But I thought about the thousands of kids that they just process language differently, they think differently, but they grow up privately thinking in their mind, these people don't think I'm smart. They don't think that I have what it takes. So we're here to commemorate what he did, and that's right, and we should do that. But I would also like this day and the story of Dennis Bonnen and what he's accomplished to be a testimony that is retold so that children that think they're maybe not smart or they don't have what it takes, they need to know the story of Dennis Bonnen and that they are talented, they are capable, and there's also a lot of other things in life that go into being successful. In addition to that, I'm going to share with you that Dennis has as good an ability as anybody I have ever known to understand what other people are thinking and how they're feeling, which is very powerful because he can predict how they're going to behave better than almost anyone. But there's an essential requirement to that. Maybe it's a gift, that's true, but there's one thing that is required in order to be able to do that, and that is you have to care about other people. If you're only thinking about yourself, you'll never be able to understand what other people are thinking and feeling. And he has proven over time to be really incomparable at understanding where other people are coming from, whether he agrees with them or not. Which leads me to the final thing I'm going to say, and then we'll move on. He could get out of Austin faster than anybody I have ever served with in the legislature. And you might say, well, why is that? Well, there's at least one critical reason why. He just wanted to be home with his wife, Kim, and with his boys, Jackson and Gregory. And when people look at his professional success and performance and things that he's done, I think one thing that is unfortunately overlooked or missed is that he is one of the most dedicated people to his family of anyone that I know. And I think, and y'all can applaud. And Dennis will have his moment. He gets to be the closer, so I'm going to be careful about saying anything else. But you know, for over 20 years, Kim has shared in this service with him. And for Jackson and Gregory, this is the only life that they've ever known. Daddy going to Austin, Daddy on the telephone, and they have shared in that service. And I think that we should recognize them right now for what they have done.